When you say think and feel and think and feel and think and feel and feel and think and feel and think, do you mean doing that subject by subject, or is that something that you have to...
Well, subject by subject, focus wheel by focus wheel. We'll give you an example with Esther. Esther's been listening to us for a long time, and she knows how to focus her mind. And she knows the benefit of focus, and she knows the detriment of lazy thought, and she understands it all. But we offered some encouragement back in January. It was the first time that we were really emphasizing the vortex in this way. We encouraged a sort of daily ritual of basking before bed, appreciating when you wake up, doing some focus wheels, doing your list of positive aspects, and then rampaging. And Esther, something about hearing it that day made her decide that she was going to apply herself more deliberately. And so for about 40 days, she followed that process. And she got feeling better and better and better. And from being consistently in the vortex, she got higher and happier and higher and happier and higher and happier. And she reached a new understanding. She wants to be in the vortex because of how it feels, not because of what else it will give her. Yes, it will give her fortune. It will give her answers to every question. It will give her more groundbreaking books. It will give her incredible relationships with those like you. Everything that she wants will be provided by being in the vortex. But she wants to be in the vortex because walking around the loop in Del Mar inside the vortex is infinitely more satisfying than walking around the loop not inside the vortex. Every conversation from inside the vortex is meaningful and fun, while conversations from outside the vortex are annoying and too long. In other words, life from inside the vortex just feels good. So that was a definitive switch for Esther. She moved after that 40 days of feeling the consistency of the vortex from thinking and feeling and thinking and feeling to reaching for the feeling first. Instead of, I'm going to think more positive thoughts, she started saying things like, I love this feeling of clarity. I love this feeling of fun. I love this feeling of interest. I love how this feels. I love how this feels. She began talking in terms of how things feel instead of how things look, or how they seem, or how they sound. It's how it feels. Do you feel this music, she would say? Do you feel this music? Not, do you hear this music? Do you feel this? Do you feel that? Did you feel how that music moved you? Do you hear that clarinet? Do you hear it, but do you feel it? Did you feel what it felt like to talk to that person? Did you feel how sweet that dog is? Can you feel this air? Do you feel this world? Do you feel? It's how you feel. It's the being who I am. It's having the experience of what's out there from in here, where who I really am is feeling. You have these physical senses that serve you really well, but when you let the vibration of who you are radiate through those physical senses, that's feeling, you see. That's why emotion is the business of life. Did you feel it?
It sounded a lot like savoring and a lot like milking.
Basking, mulling, milking.
Finding as many positive aspects as you can. Yeah.
For the purpose of how it feels.
Right.
Not for the ulterior motive of getting someplace else, but for the purpose of how it feels. And when you get there, then you close the gap between not having things you want and having things you want so quickly. When you get into the vortex for the joy of being in there, rather than because you know that when you get in there, something else that you want will happen, then you take away the resistance factor. In other words, if you're outside the vortex without something you want, like money or a relationship or whatever, so you say, I'm going to do the processes and I'm going to get in the vortex so I can have those things I don't have. Feel the backlash? I'm going to do the process so I can get in the vortex so I can have those things I don't have. You keep ending up where you are. But when you say, I'm going to go to the vortex because it feels so good in the vortex, there's less of the backlash that holds you where you are. You go for the feeling of it, not for the ulterior motive of being different than you are.
But it is possible to think about something you want and you don't have and use it as your excuse to get in the vortex. It's only when you keep score and you say, well, where is it? Or, do you know what I mean?
Well,
because there is pure desire.
Yes, there is, but the thing that makes that statement not completely accurate is that when the desire is that pure,
you don't care.
It manifests immediately, and then you've got it. There's no possible way that you can, for a long period of time, positively desire something with the absence of resistance and hold yourself in that place of not having it. The laws of the universe defy it. So that's why we say, when you get this stuff, you don't need patience, because everything you want comes quickly. You can get in the back door easily when you realize that everything you want is because you think you'll feel better having it.
Mm-hmm.
So if you can feel better just in the idea of it, then there's no resistance, and now it comes quickly. And what happens to so many of you, you begin to discover that you wanted that, and you wanted that, and you wanted that because you wanted to feel good, and now you've got all of that, and now you don't feel good because you've got clutter. Abraham, I've got 14 high-powered cars in my driveway. I thought I wanted all of them, but now they're in my way.
So then
we say,
that's
get
just
20 boxes and number them.
That's just a new desire then. First you had the desire for the stuff, and then you get the desire for the minimalist experience.
Here's the thing. Well, not minimalist. Here's the thing. You have desire for stuff because you think that you're going to fill a void with the stuff. In time, you begin to discover that the only thing that fills the void is alignment with who you are. We're not trying to talk you out of your stuff. Stuff's fun. It's just not what you're reaching for. You're reaching for alignment. You're reaching for the feeling. So maybe stuff makes you feel secure. Maybe stuff makes you feel successful. Maybe stuff makes you feel comfortable. There's a lot of stuff that's really comfortable. There's a lot of stuff that really enhances your experience. We're not trying to talk you out of your stuff. We just want you to admit, acknowledge is a better word. We just want you to admit, acknowledge is a better word. We just want you to acknowledge that everything you want is because you think you will feel better when you have it. And when you get over the hurdle that you can feel better even if you don't have it, now you can have it.
That's the trick. It's the feeling good in the wanting.
Now you can have it, but it becomes less necessary. So that's what's really tricky. When Esther met Jerry, he had already come to the place that he didn't want a lot of stuff. And Esther wanted stuff. Esther wanted stuff. And now the more stuff they gather, the more she realizes that he had it figured out. But words don't teach. In other words, it's not stuff you want. It's comfort. It's clarity. It's alignment. It's exhilaration. It's passion. It's interest. What you really want is a passing parade of wonderful stuff through your life. That's what you really want. In and out, just like air. In and out, 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 in and out. You don't want security. You don't want to gather up a bunch of stuff and hold it to you and write your name on the bottom of all of it. And insure it and drag it around. You don't want that. What you want is a new idea that is out of reach, that you bring yourself into alignment. Because the moments in time from it being out of reach, and you're recognizing that nothing is out of reach, and then those moments of you coming into alignment with it, that is the zest and thrill of life. That's the sweet zone right there. I want it, I don't have it, not so sweet. I want it, I don't have it, I believe that I could have it, sweeter. I want it, I don't have it, I believe that I could have it, it's coming to me, sweet, 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 sweet. I've got it. Not so sweet. I want it. I don't have it. Not so sweet. I believe I can have it. Sweeter. I'm in alignment with it. Sweet, 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 sweet. I've got it. Not so sweet. The best of life is in the moving into alignment and claiming your new position and then reaching again. And the best of life is moving into alignment and then claiming your position and then reaching again. That's why you're eternal. You keep loving the reach, you see. It's not the getting there, it's the going there.